Hey, welcome back, my fellow humble investors. This is me, E.T. Clark, and remember, I'm not your financial advisor. Matter of fact, I'm not even a financial advisor. I'm just a self-taught investor who likes talking about companies, in particular, this one, Humbl. Boy, we got a lot of information to go over today. We're going to go over the agenda for the 7th of May investors call. Not only that, I had some family members that expressed some concerns. I was the one who really hyped up Humbl, got them invested, and now they're expressing some concerns, and we're going to talk about that. And last but not least, we're going to take a look at the price action. You want to stick around for that because on the 29th, I signed up for the ETXs. I'm in bot 5 and bot 3. I want to show you my 2-day performance. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Let's review the agenda for the investors call for on May 7th. Okay, here's the agenda for the May 7th investor call. Looks like they're going to hit on 3 areas: business insights, product roadmap, and people hires. For business insight, they're going to let us know what's going on with any type of patents that are being filed. Hopefully, the patents are going to be related to the ETX technology that they have. I think that the technology there is definitely a game changer when it comes to artificial intelligence, rebalancing an ETX. And if they can do it with an ETX, they can definitely do it with ETFs. So we'll see. The share structure, we know that's highly anticipated. We want to hear what they have to say about that, especially when those B preferred shares. That's really, since that news broke, that's really driven down, help drive down the price of Humbl stock. As I started to think about that, when that news first broke, I was definitely concerned about it. But as I started to think about it, the cure to that, the solution to the dilution is really going to be revenue and revenue growth. If we are growing at the rate that I think that we're going to grow once we started taking a look at once we take a look at those quarterly financials, this year the dilution is not going to matter. I mean, the bottom line, if you're talking about 45% of them, they promise not to, and the CEO promised not to do anything with those. And at the very latest, December of 2022, I'm not really concerned about it, especially if we're going to grow at the rate we're growing. It doesn't really matter at that particular point if that is going to be the case when it comes to growth and revenue that this company can generate. M&As, we're going to find out whether or not we have anything in the works. Hopefully we do, and we'll see exactly what that relates to. The product roadmap will hopefully they'll give us an insight as to when the peer-to-peer function of the mobile app is going to be released. We can find out what's going on, the NFTs, and also ticketing. If it's generating any incomes, if we have a lot of people that signed up for it. On the product, on the financial side, the ETXs, I'm definitely want to see exactly what they have to say about the ETXs. We already know that just from a short time that I opened my ETX account, and ETXs seem to be performing as the records indicate. So hopefully we'll talk a lot more about that. And the very last thing, he's going to talk about the hires. I have a list of the hires for Humbl and their background. So go ahead and check out that list in the description. The link is in the description below. But bottom line, when you look at that list, you see that we have some definitely have some talented people on board in both management, technology, operations, and marketing. So, if those people are as good as their bio says, well, I tell you what, it looks like we may have a dream team on our hands. Investor call, 7 May. Can't wait until that comes to see what we can get from that, see what type of information we can get from that call.
Investors Cost, May 7th. Can't wait. Now, guys, there are three camps when you look at Humbl. Realistically, these camps are going to be the same regardless. It's just how it is. You're going to have the supporters, your non-supporters, and then your camp of undecided. It works like that in just about everything. Politics, you're going to have your supporter of one party, then you're going to have the non-supporter of that particular party, then you got your camp of undecided people. Same thing is happening right here with Humbl. All right. Quite naturally, you already know exactly what camp I'm in. I'm in the camp of the supporters because I see the future in Humbl and I look at it as a long-term investment. But then again, you're going to have your non-supporters. All right. Most of the non-supporters you're going to find out are your shorters. In other words, they are looking for information to make sure to drive the price of that stock of our stock down so that they can make money. I get it. That's how they make money. So be it. All they're doing realistically for us long term, yes, it's creating some upset stomachs maybe, but by that same token, it's a matter of your perspective. If you believe in a company has good fundamentals, when the price goes down, it is a buying opportunity. Look at it as a Black Friday of stocks. Then you have your undecided people who haven't decided yet. All right. And a lot of times they're going to be listening to some of the non-supporters and supporters, and they're going to make up their mind and go that route. Bottom line, I say the easiest solution to all of that is realistically the numbers. If you follow the numbers don't lie. Can't go wrong with the numbers. All right. With all that being said, I had some friends and families, members who are invested in Humbl, express some concerns about Humbl. These are some of the concerns they had. I had one talk about they heard that this is a pump and dump company. We'll talk about that. Someone also said that they heard that the company, seen something that the company is going to go bankrupt. We'll talk about that. And most of them, my family members, who are not long-term investors, they're ready to sell for a loss. No, it's an unrealized loss right now. They sell for a loss. They make it, it's a permanent loss at that particular point. This is how I address them. I asked them some questions right off the bat. Questions that I asked. Can you buy products or services from Humbl? That's the question I asked. Most of them said, oh yeah. And I did. I explained to them that I did. I bought from Humbl Studio. This came from Humbl Studio. Matter of fact, I went back there and I bought a t-shirt and a hat because it's just getting too hot for this doggone hoodie. It's almost, I'm in San Antonio. It's starting to get a little toasty out here. So I'm wearing this just for the videos now because it's definitely too hot to wear this here. But I ordered something from Humbl Studios. I just ordered something from the merchant. There was a merchant on Humbl that was selling rub for barbecue. Looked pretty good. I tried it out. I placed an order for it through Humbl. NFTs. I haven't done anything with NFTs yet, but I will. I am actually going to go out there and create an NFT for my logo, my YouTube logo, Get Money channel. I'm going to also create an NFT for the music that my son developed for this videos, my intro and my and my outro. The music there was developed by him. I'm going to get an NFT for that. Also, there's another some music that he developed that I haven't used yet. So I'm going to try that and see how that works. But I'm going to be a customer. I'm an owner, investor, and also a customer of Humbl. Also, I asked the question, can you open an EXT account with Humbl? Well, they know that, yes, we launched that, but I also told them, and this was yesterday, I told someone that, hey, I just did. On the 29th, I opened my EXT account with Humbl. And when we go over the price action, one of the slides is actually going to show you my 2-day performance. Now, other questions that I asked. how much revenue is being generated? They couldn't answer that question. I can't answer that question. I don't know. We don't know. How much debt? We don't know. What is their debt to asset ratio? We don't know. The growth rate? We don't know. And the reason why we don't know is because we have no quarterly financials to look at. You can't go by 2020. We have to go by this year, 2021 and forward. That's what we have to go to really truly evaluate this company on a fundamental basis. Now, that there is going to give us an idea of whether or not they're on the path for bankruptcy, which I seriously doubt. Pump and dump. Yes, we're a legitimate company selling products and services. That proves it right here. We got EXT, we got NFTs, we got ticketing, no, it is not a pump and dump. Don't sell for a loss. It is too early to do that. We don't have enough information for people that are long-term invested. Your traders are going to trade. Your shorters are going to short. You know, as they say, the haters are going to hate and the players are going to play. That's just the way of the world. Deal with it. We have to deal with it, and we keep moving on. The only thing that's going to turn that around and keep us on a good path is what I want from Humbl. And what I want from Humbl is this here. I want to make money. That's the only reason I'm investing in it. That's why we invest. We invest to make money. But I also want this company to be one of those ride or die companies. And I have a few of them, but I want Humbl to be one of them. All right? But it's not up to me. It's up to their numbers. Ride or die companies are companies that I'm going to hang on to until there's no reason to hang on to them. But I'm thinking I may hang on to these for the rest of my life. Apple, Tesla, Bank of America, Citicorp, OOO is Magic, which is Income Realty. You're talking about an ETF of QYLD that does covered calls, a covered call ETF. You got Prospect PSEC, which is a closed-end fund that pays great dividends. And you got Rocket. Rocket, anybody, I'm not going to tout Rocket. Good company, got a surprise dividend, what I wasn't expecting. But I want Humbl to be one of those ride or die companies. I want to move it up from, a speculative buy and hold to my ride or dies. That's what I call the ones that I'm going to probably die with. My ride or die company. That's what I want. And what's needed for Humbl in order to get there? Hey, we got to get uplisted to the NASDAQ. OTC is not going to make it. It's a great start, yes, but it's not going to make it for the long term. All right? We need those institutional investors. All right? Currently, right now, we are one of the most popular penny stocks out there. But guess what? We're retail investors. That's it. Let's get to the point where we have retail investors, we're the most popular with retail investors as well as institutional investors. Look out now. All right? And we need those financial reports, guys. Everybody knows it. We know it's coming. But what that's going to do, that's going to give us an argument for those haters and those non-supporters, and argument for those undecided people, because that's going to give us a growth rate, and we're going to see what they're doing with their debt management. So those are coming. That's how I answered those questions. They're still on board. Nobody is sold. All right. With that, this is what I want you guys to check out before we move to the price action and go over the slides. A couple of things I want you to check out. Humbl has a YouTube channel. Check it out. Humbl Inc. That's the name of the YouTube channel. Also, I did a video going into a little bit more detail about my ETX experience. Setting everything up. Trust me, it wasn't easy. But check out that video also. So let's go ahead and take a look at the price action for last week. Look at the price action. We're going to look at the short volume ratio, as well as my 2-day performance on that ETX. All right, let's take a look at it.
Okay, here the agenda for the May 7th investor call. We went over this already. This next slide here is just that security slide. It really just shows you the total number of authorized shares out there, and then we have the outstanding shares. I'm going to continue to monitor this because this gives me a true indication of the dilution. What's going to happen here is the authorized shares, as people's insiders start to buy, yes, they have to file with the SEC. But if I keep track of this, I can see if they're doing that because this number is going to decrease and the outstanding shares will increase. All right. This here is a price action for Friday. It opened at 149, closed at 152. There's a little movement there, not much. When you look at the volume, the 10-day average volume was definitely up, 19 million average per day. And on Friday, we're looking at 8.7 million. So it's down from the 10-day average. And as you can see that the trend line for the week was still on a downward trend. Now, once again, I'm comparing Humbl against Forwardly, and as I always say, how goes Humbl goes Forwardly, and the reason why I do this is Forwardly is my indirect play on Humbl as well. This here is keeping an eye on the shorts. As of Friday, you see that the short ratio is starting to go up, 0.45, and as once that get out of whack, you're really going to start to see more of a downward pressure on the price of the stock. And this here is within the last 72 hours. This is the most searched stock. And if you see, probably for the last 5 weeks, Humbl's always been within the top five. As of last week, the last 72 hours, we're number two. HCMC was number one. We've been jockeying back and forth between one and two with this company. And you can see this is not only just ATC, over the counter stocks, OTC, but you're also looking at some of the major players there. If I'm not mistaken, look at Apple that's down here. Of course, you've got the GameStop and so forth. All right, this is my position. Like I said last week, I was nibbling. I will continue to nibble. And on the 26th and 29th, I added positions both in Humbl and also Forwardly. I am down 49% in Humbl and 29% in Forwardly. It doesn't concern me, mainly because I can get more shares of stock. So when this thing finally turns around, look out. All right, and this next slide here is my price performance for 2 days when it comes to my ETXs. What I did is I took $1,000 and I initially was going to split it between block 3, 5, and 10. They have minimum requirements for each block, and block 10 required a little bit over $1,000 at the time that I looked at it. So I just concentrated on block 3 and block 5. And just within 2 days, you're looking at my returns. Block 3 gave me 6.78 and block 5, 6.2. I highly encourage that you take a look at my video concerning the ETXs, how I set it up, how I got started, and also some of the other pertinent information that I learned by actually funding my ETX. I think you'll really enjoy that particular video. It actually goes into this in a lot more detail, talks about my trials and tribulations of actually opening that account and funding the account. So take a look at that.
Hey, my fellow Humbl investors, you know what I'm going to do this week? I'm going to continue to nibble. I'm going to continue to build up my positions in Humbl and Forwardly. I can't wait. And I can't wait until the 7th of May. I really want to see what the investors call what information we're going to gather from that, especially any new information, whether it's with mergers and acquisition, the patent, the shares, the performance of the NFTs, ticketing, and ETFs. X's. So definitely can't wait until that call. But guys, we're buying a company. Remember what Mr. Martin said from Money and Politics Now. We're buying a company, not the price. And on that note, guys, I will see you next Sunday, if not sooner. Take care. Bye-bye.